We continue our series of extremely large book reading, with bits and pieces at a time, with Arabian Nights. We're on night 310. Remember how we had read the complete poetry of Emily Dickinson and the biography of Emily Dickinson, and we read complete Plato, and we read Apollonius of Tirana. What other big books did we read? Bits and pieces at a time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Didn't he read the entire Guru Granth over 5 years? Hmm. Now we come to night 310. Hmm. What happened before? I can't remember. 309. Do you remember 309? See, we have blackout in memory. We come to night 310. Now Scheherazade started in 310. She said, I have heard, O fortunate king, that consumed by hunger, he went to the trader's market, which he found crowded with people. He asked himself what the reason for this might be, and he said, by God, I am not going to move off until I have had a look at this circle of people. When he went up to it, he found a girl, 5 foot tall, symmetrically formed, with rosy cheeks and rounded breast. She surpassed all the people of her age in beauty, grace, and perfection, being as a poet described her. See, we have poetry here. Created in accord with her own desires, perfected in beauty's mold, neither tall nor short, beauty itself is enamored of her form. Reluctance, pride, and modesty prevent approach. She appears like the full moon, slender as a bough. She smells of musk, without match among humankind, formed as though from the essence of a pearl. In each of her limbs beauty displays a moon. Wow. Does that describe you? The girl's name was Zumurrud. Zumurrud. When Ali Shah saw her, he was astonished by her beauty and grace, and he said, by God, I am not going to leave until I see what price she is going to fetch, until I find out who buys her. Was she up for sale, man? He stood with a group of merchants who thought that he was a would-be buyer, believing him rich because of his inherited wealth. The auctioneer stood beside the girl and called out, merchants and men of wealth who will open the bidding for this girl, the mistress of moons, the radiant pearl, Zumurrud, the curtain maker, the goal of those who seek, and the delight of desirous. Open the bidding, and whoever opens it will face no blame or reproach. 500 dinars, said one of the merchants, and 10, said another. A blue-eyed, ugly old man named Rashid al-Din said, and 100, and 10, said another. But then Rashid al-Din offered 1,000, and the rest held their tongues and fell silent. The auctioneer consulted Zumurrud's owner, who told him, I have sworn only to sell her to a man of her own choice, so consult her. So the man went up to her and said, Mistress of moons, this merchant wants to buy you. The girl looked at her prospective purchaser and said, seeing how ugly he was, she said to the auctioneer, I am not to be sold to an old man whom senility has left in such decrepitude. How well the poet expressed it. Quote, one day I asked her for a kiss. I was wealthy and prosperous, but she looked at my white hair. Hurriedly she turned away, saying, no, by God, who created man from naught, there is nothing that I want from this white hair. Is my mouth to be stuffed with cotton while I am still alive? That's a poem. That's a poem against old men. Why am I reading this poem? I'm not old, though. When the auctioneer heard what she said, he told her, "By God, you are to be excused, and you are worth 10,000 dinars." He explained to her owner that she would not accept Rashid ad-Din, and told him to ask her to look for someone else. Another buyer came forward offering the same price as Rashid ad-Din, whom she had rejected. She looked at him and saw that his beard was dyed. "What is this disgrace?" she exclaimed. "Blackness on the face of a gray-haired man is suspicious." With many more expressions of wonder, she recited the lines, quote, "I saw what I saw from so-and-so, the back of a neck to be beaten with a slipper, a beard which was a training ground for bugs, the hair all askew from being tied with a headband. You who are enthralled by my cheeks and my figure, why do you thoughtlessly try to fake what is impossible? You stain your white hair with disgrace, hiding what has appeared, trying to cheat. You leave with one beard and bring back another, as though you were producing a shadow play." Well, another poet expressed it. She said, "I see that you have now dyed your white hair." I told her, "I have hidden it from you. Who are my ears and my eyes?" With a loud laugh she said, "This is surprising. Your fraudulence extends even to your hair." "By God, you're right," said the auctioneer when he heard these lines, and when the merchant asked what she had said, he repeated them to him. The man realized he was in the wrong and withdrew his offer. Another merchant made a similar offer and asked the auctioneer to consult Zumurrud. When she looked at him, she discovered that he was one-eyed. She pointed this out, quoting from the poet who said, quote, "Ever associate with a one-eyed man, beware of his evil and of his falsehood. Had there been any good in him at all, God would not have blinded one of his two eyes." The auctioneer then asked her if she would agree to be sold to another merchant. Looking at him, however, she found that he was a small man with a beard that hung down to his navel, and she said, "It is to this man that the poet's lines apply. Quote, I have a friend with a beard that God has caused to grow, although there is no useful purpose in its growth. It is like a winter's night, long, dark, and cold." At this point the auctioneer said, "Lady, look and see whether there is anyone here who takes your fancy, and then tell me so that I can sell you to him." She looked at the circle of merchants and studied them one by one. Then her eye fell on Ali Shar. End of story. That's the end of night 310. It leaves you hanging because
But read anyway.
read anyways. We were reading night 310. We're reading night 310 and the morning of 310.
We call them morning
readings.
1001.
We're doing morning readings of 1001 Nights. Why is that? We wake up in the morning and do the readings. This is 310. That's very interesting. So what's going to happen in 311? Do we have to wait?